Welcome back to Increase. I'm Blake Anderson. Good to be back here with you. Hey, it's the beginning of 2025, and if you're like me, you've already started setting some goals. Some of you ended your year setting goals. Some of you maybe have already quit on some goals. If you're like me, I'm kind of slowly getting into it. I'm counting the costs. I'm taking time. You know, what's taken me a little bit more time this year is I've realized in the past I've set lots of goals that I didn't necessarily achieve. And I've really started reflecting on the concept to count the cost. That I'd be real serious about the things that I set my mind to, that I make them a priority, that if I'm really going to make them a goal, then I'm going to go after them. I'm not just going to write something on a piece of paper because it makes myself feel better about myself today, but that I decide something that I really want to achieve this year. And I hope you're doing the same. I've taken quite a bit of time to reflect on 2024 and really put some things in priority. Maybe if you're like me, you took some time off between Christmas and New Year's. But now we're into 2025 and it feels like we're off to the races. And I want this to be a strong year. You know, 2024 was hard for me. I don't know how it was for you. And I want 2025 to be better. I want to believe that the struggle I had in 2024 was tilling the ground to create fertile soil in 2025. But I want to talk about goal setting today because I think there's something in our way. Many of us, like I said, have set goals that we didn't achieve. And I think there's a block to our goal achievement that when we understand it, that we're going to have greater success. And that's what I want for you in this video. So stick around. I'm going to open up a 4-step formula to help you understand how to remove the blocks in your goal setting strategy. All right, when we think about goals, we're normally wanting something that we don't have. But there's a really important concept that we've really got to wrap our head around. And it's this, that you don't get what you want. You get what you think you deserve. I'm going to say that again. I really want you to think about this. In life, you don't get what you want. You get what you think you deserve. Many of us are setting goals of things that we want. But I think the reason that we haven't achieved some of these goals is we haven't felt worthy of the goals. We don't know if we deserve that goal. We don't know if we see ourselves as someone who can really achieve or attain such a thing. And so I really want to break this down. I want you to understand a 4-step framework to goal achievement and really fixing this deserve, this worthy piece. Because there's things that we can start doing physically in our actions that will start to reprogram our mind and the way we think about ourselves. You know, Wayne Dyer says, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And that's another way of saying that we are what we deserve and we deserve what we are. And so I'm thinking about a 4-step framework that I saw in this book, 10X is Easier Than 2X. Put this on your 2025 reading list. This is a great book. And it was written by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And there's a 4-step framework that is laid forward when you're talking about changing your identity, because that's really what we're talking about. We're setting goals that aren't in line with our identity. We're setting goals that we don't think that we're the person that should have that goal. Yet, on the other hand, these are goals that we really want. And so if we want something that we don't think we deserve, then we've got to do something about it. We've got to change this deserving. We've got to change this identity we have. And here's the 4-step framework. They call it the 4 C's formula. Okay? And number 1 is commitment. Number 2 is courage. 3 is capability. And 4 is confidence. All right, how's this play out? You're going to have to commit to a new identity. You're going to have to commit to doing things that you've never done before. Part of the reason you've never achieved those goals is because they required something from you that you weren't willing to do, that you weren't willing to commit to do. And if you're anything like me, you realize, enough of that. I want that more than I want the limitations that I've been allowing to hold myself back. So you set a goal that you want. And even if your identity doesn't line up with it, the first step is you commit. I am going after this thing. The second thing is you're going to have courage, because doing new things takes courage. You're stepping into uncharted territory and fear starts to really sink in. But once you get out there, what starts to happen is you start to equip yourself with new skill sets, with new mindsets. Your capability increases. And when your capability increases, then comes confidence. I love this quote that says, competence breeds confidence. Competence breeds confidence. And that's really what we're doing. We're creating new competencies, new capabilities that are creating a new confidence in ourselves. And that confidence we have in ourselves is that belief that we deserve this thing, that we're capable of this thing, that we can handle a new opportunity. So you commit to something first, because you won't do the uncomfortable things. You won't learn the new skill sets and increase your capabilities until you've committed to do something about it. And you'll have to have the courage to stick with it. And as you do that, those capabilities will start to come. It'll be hard at first. You'll be learning new software. You'll be learning new soft skills. You'll be learning new things. But in so doing, the confidence starts to follow as you build those capabilities. You start to feel confident in yourself and what you can handle. Next thing you know, you're a whole new person. And the blocks that are keeping you from stepping into your new realities are gone. And now these goals you set don't seem so far off, because you're a person able to accomplish those goals. So what do you do now? It's a simple formula: commitment, courage, capability, confidence. I hope you got that. But I don't want you just to leave here with these 4 steps. I want you to know what to do now. So let's take this step by step. Step number 1. Feel the pain. First thing you need to do is you need to feel the pain of what it feels like right now. When you think about that goal, if you're like me, I've got some goals out there that I know that I want. That I see other people that I know have them. I'm like, well, why can't I achieve that? Why isn't that for me? And you have to start to feel the pain of not having that thing, of not living into that new reality. You see, the pain of the status quo is important. Tony Robbins said it best: change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. You see, as much as we put visions in front of us, we put goals in front of us, we want to inspire ourselves with motivation, we really don't do anything about it until we are responding to pain. And most of us are responding to the pain of the unknown, the pain of the uncertain, the pain of learning new things, the pain of looking like a fool, the pain of embarrassment, of humiliation. And the pain of those unknown things are stopping us from trying new things. They're stopping you from the goals that you're setting for yourself. So we want to begin to feel the pain of the status quo. The pain that I don't have it yet. The pain that someone that's not half as smart as me, who doesn't have near the experience as me, has got an income and a lifestyle that I don't have yet. The pain of missed vacations that you weren't able to go on. The pain of the gifts that you weren't able to buy at Christmas. The pain of the driving the old car when you want the new one. The pain of living in a house that's not big enough for the lifestyle and the family that you have now. You've got to feel that pain, because you've got to get to a place where you're ready to make a decision. You're ready to decide. And ultimately, that word decide, if you break down the meaning, it means to cut off, because you need to make a commitment. And you need to burn the boats. You need to burn the bridges. You need to decide, I'm going for this, and there is no turning back. So feel the pain of not having the thing that you want and make a commitment. Step 2, do it anyways. Courage is going to have to kick in. You're going to have to decide, I'm going to do it. That's it, period. As Kevin Trudeau says. You just have to make a decision. I'm going to do it. I'm past worrying about humiliation and embarrassment, and you do it anyways. Fear is going to kick in that mind, and you're going to be weak-kneed, and you're going to be shivering, and you decide, no, that's it. I'm going. I'm doing it anyways. Step 3 in this process. You're building the capabilities, and so what you need to do is you need to devote yourself to the process. Okay? You have got to become absolutely obsessed with this process. You have to understand that you have to become more on the inside to receive more on the outside, because your outside reality is a mirror image of your inside reality. And so if I want something more on the outside, I've got to become more on the inside. You see, I need an identity change. So I've got to devote myself to the process. So understand, I have a desire. I have to become that desire, and then there's the receiving of it. Now, I have no control over the receiving of it, but I have a leading indicator, and that's the amount of work I'm willing to do on myself. That's the person that I'm willing to become, right? So when you set out that goal, you're going to have to ask yourself, who is the person that I'm going to have to become to achieve this goal this year? And you become obsessed with it. And you know that that is your real work, the process. Because as you become more on the inside, you become a better leader. You become a better manager. You become a better entrepreneur. You become a better trader. You become a better investor. You become a better operator. You become a better team member. See, when you become more on the inside, then by law, your outside has to change. So you have to devote yourself to the process. So what books are you going to read this year? What courses are you going to sign up for this year? What shows are you going to stop watching? What sports are you going to check out a little bit more from? What can you start prioritizing now as you devote yourself to the process? Because you understand, to get this thing you want, you're going to have to become someone that you're not yet. Step 4. When confidence materializes, things change fast. See, that capability is increased because you devoted yourself to the process, because you became more. Now all of a sudden you feel like a completely different person. Don't be surprised when the doors start opening, the phone starts ringing, emails start coming, the orders start coming. Because things change fast once confidence materializes. I believe it's this 4-step framework and these 4 to-dos right here that's going to change your 2025. It only took a few minutes for you to watch this podcast, but I want you to go back and look at these goals that you set. And I want you to really think about them really hard. Am I serious about the goals that I've set? Are these things important to me? And do I want them more than the status quo that I keep living in today? And then you take this process and you commit. These are the ones I'm going after. You take the courage to take the next step. You build your capabilities, and then when confidence comes, change happens fast. Hope you have a great year. Hope you join me next time for another episode of Increase.